Good morning, church. So, today's message is a continuation of a series of messages on overthinking. So, today's topic is when the mind won't rest. Okay. And I hope and I believe and I strongly believe that many times our mind doesn't rest. Whose mind rests all the time? Raise your hand. Other than children less than 2 years, right? So, this message is apt for all of you. It doesn't matter what your age is, including my son, who is Sean, who is also stressed with watching phone, mobile phone, TV, computer, children to play with, so much of stress to manage, right? On a lighter note, but let's go on to look at why doesn't our mind rest? Okay, what are the reasons why our mind doesn't rest? And what do I focus today in today's message? So, as you all are aware, uh, there are various seasons in our life where many things don't happen the way we want it to happen, right? We do lot of struggle, we work very hard, and then we don't see the results. Now that could be academics, that could be in the job, that could be getting in, going for an interview, or it could be even like you plan so much for your child and your child is not turning out the way you want them to turn out, right? So that also creates stress. Pretty not so early for you right now, but right. And then what do? We go and pray, most of us, but still it doesn't change, right? And then what do? We keep on praying, we keep on working hard, but still it fades. Does it happen or not? Or you don't get what you are aspiring for. So this is one of the hardest places to be it in professional life or in personal life. Now, what does that lead us to? It's all listed on the slide. Obviously, the first thing that triggers is stress because we have built certain thoughts that we would like to do this or that, and that is not happening. So, first and foremost, it creates unrest and stress, and it leads to overthinking, like why is it not happening for me, and it also creates a lot of doubt in us, right? That why me, what am I doing wrong, right? And then what does it lead to? It leads us to exhaustion or extreme tiredness, right? So let's look at Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 11. Someone can read it, please. Yeah, first few words again, please. In its time. Now, but we being we want it in our time, right? So let's look at John 16:33. Okay. So what does the Lord say? You will be always successful. You will have no troubles, no difficulties. The answer is no. The Lord Himself says you will have difficulties and troubles. Right? Galatians 6:9. Yeah. So don't give up. Keep trying. And in the waiting is the answer. But God doesn't prepare you for a defeat. So kindly remember that Bible prepares us for delay, training. You remember Joseph's message of mine, 13 years of training, right? For to be successful. So many times we get into the thoughts that, look, this is only my problem. But there are characters in Bible who have also gone through this. So we look at two characters today. Two characters in Bible whom we are going to study today who have gone through struggles, right? Let's look at chapter 5 of Luke, verse 5 and 6, where there were fishermen trying to fish. Go ahead.
Simon answered, Master, we have worked and weapon for eating. But because you say so, I will let down the nets. When they had done so, they caught such a large number of fish that the nets began to leak.
Right? So look at it. Are they the first time fishermen? No. Most likely they are ancestral fishermen. So they would have learned fishing from their parents and their elders right from their childhood. Right? So they very well know looking at the water where to fish. And still they had what we call as a professional failure. Right? They couldn't fish all night. And then Simon Peter says, Tum bol rahe ho, to I'll try one more. I'm so sure his attitude while doing that will not be so much of enthusiasm, right? Okay, because you're saying I'm going to do it. Not like yes, you're saying I'm so sure it's going to happen here, right? And when he did, what happened? They found how many, caught how many fishes in their net? Famous number 150. 153 fishes in the net, right? And was so heavy that they couldn't carry it, right? What did they do? They just carried on with the orders of the Lord. That's all. So, what does the message tell us in this lesson? Is just keep going. Don't panic. Right? So, now let's look at the second character in the Bible, Joseph. I think I have given two messages on Joseph, so I will quickly recap from my memory. He was betrayed by whom? His brothers, and he was taken as a slave, right? And he was in the jail because he stood for honesty, and then he told the dreams, and still there were no reward because the people who were jailed who went outside, they did tell about him, even though when he told them, talk about me. And if you recollect, for 2 years after he has told them the dreams, still there was no reward. How many years? 2 years after knowing what the answer is and still no reward. Right? So remember, God may be for you absent at that moment, right? Or silent according to you. But God is planning something for you. So let's look at Genesis 40:23.
The chief and Joseph, he forgot him.
And the next verse says 2 years. Right? Imagine for 2 years you are forgotten in spite of knowing the magic. Does this happen to all of us that when we are going through the seasons of struggle, that we are trying everything possible and still it is not clicking, right? So today's message is not about telling you secret formula of how to unlock success. Today's message is about how to endure during this chaos. When you are restless because you're not getting the success, how to stick to Bible and continue your journey is what today's message is all about. Clear? There are no 7 lessons that you can apply and you will become successful. There will be some 7 lessons you can apply to continue in the struggle. Clear? No magic. So When there is no success, comes naturally three types of stresses: mental stress, emotional stress, spiritual stress within the mind. Okay. So now let's look at Psalms 13, verse 2.
All satisfied with my thoughts and every day of sorrow.
Does this come to you? How long will somebody be successful over me? Right? And that creates a lot of stress for us. And that doesn't make you smile. And then that brings us to the next one, which is emotional stress, which is Psalm 22, verse 1.
My God, why are you forsaking me? Why are you so saving me so far with the words of my Lord?
Do we all pray like this or keep saying like this when we are going through tough time and when we don't see the end of the tunnel? Right? It could be a health problem, it could be a professional problem, it could be financial problem, it could be anything, right? Life struggles. So that makes us question God. Why me? Why me? And will I ever come out of it? Right? So that brings us to the spiritual stress of doubting God and being abandoned by God. Do we all believe like that or not? Yeah? I'm so sure everybody at one point of time or the other will go through this journey. You are very lucky if you do not go through these kind of journeys. That's plain luck. That's it. There is no other way you can be escaping from all kind of stresses, right? Or you are not acknowledging, right? So all of these stresses create what in our mind and in our body? Pressure. Okay. So some 2, 3 months back, I asked my daughter Sarah, what is the definition of pressure? And she told me that there are 6 types of definition. Which definition you want? In intermediate, in physics. I said basic definition. So which is pressure is equal to force per unit area. Okay. So it is like this much pressure I'm applying on this particular area. Now, what is the area we are talking? The mind. Now, how much is the mind? Chutkusa. How much pressure force you are applying? I think the whole building type of force you're applying on your mind. That's the area of your head. So then comes all of this out. And when all of this comes, what is the first thing that is not inside your head? Is to be with the God or doubt God. Spiritual stress, which is very natural. Nobody is immune to this, right? Including me. Every other day I go through this. That doesn't mean that somebody is preaching the message is better than you. No, he may be worse than you. They just may not be acknowledging it. I am acknowledging. Right? So let's go to the next. Now we will look at certain ways or tasks. Task means basically activity that you can deploy using a biblical verse to face the hardship when success is not at your place. When success is there, then what happens to you? Can anybody say? When you are successful, what will happen? What will happen when you are successful? You will be frustrated, happy, will you be worried? No, you will be fully chilled, right? But not every moment can be that. To get to that during the stress hours or stress days or sometimes seasons can be years, can be even a decade. We look at Joseph. How many years? 3 years, right? Almost a decade and a half he has gone through stress. You, we call it now it like it's very nice for us to tell leadership training. Joseph has gone, but imagine Joseph what he would have gone through, right? So let's look at 1 Corinthians 15:58.
Stand for me, let nothing move you, or skip the work of the Lord, because we know that the labor of the Lord is not in vain.
Yeah. So repeat again.
Stand for me, let nothing move you, or skip yourselves, preach the work of the Lord, because we know that the labor of the Lord is not in vain.
Stand firm and believe in the Lord and don't forget that your labor won't go in vain. So stay faithful even when you do not see the results, right? Keep going. Now I keep telling you this Olympic champion example. An Olympic champion, does he succeed in every event he or she competes, right from the childhood till they win Olympic gold medal or a silver or a bronze? No, right? Or you can take any exam. Whoever has got the national first rank, have they been national first in every exam? Most likely no. Or in the future, right? So there will be movement of seconds and thirds and failures. How do we stay faithful? So please refer to this word. What does it say? Stand firm. Don't bend. Don't break down. Right? Second, let's go to Isaiah 60:22.
The least of you will become a thousand, the smallest a mighty nation. I am the Lord, in its time. I will do this.
Yeah, what does it say? The least of you will become thousands. So what does that amplify? Blessings. Right? And what does the second part of the verse say?
I am the Lord, in its time. Quickly.
I am the Lord. In my time, I will do it slowly, swiftly. When it will come, you will not even realize it has hit you. Right? So let's look at Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1.
There is a point with the season of every changing under heaven.
Right? There is a time for everything. There's a time for birth, there's a time for going to the Lord. And there's a season and a reason. Everybody talks about seasons, but there are always reasons which we don't want to reason. If you understand the rhyming of English words, the reasons are to be reasoned, but we don't want that reason and we don't want that season. We just want it to pass by. Success, you want the season. Failure, no, jaldi jaldi. It's what happens in like ulta, right? You have to deal with the struggle more than the success. Now, imagine people who are, because my daughter is in plus two, who is preparing for all kind of competitive exams. From 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, they have to work almost on a daily basis to crack the exam. And cracking the exam is 3 hour event. But for that 3 hour event to happen, how many thousands of hours they have to put in? Without pain, there is no gain. And Bible clearly tells there is more and more pain available written in Bible. So you only if you go through pain, you will get gain. So there is no quick formula like Quick for success. Go through the pain and take the gain. And the same thing God is saying, go through the pain I will do in my time, not your time. Now your time may be your time. My time is what works. Your time is the clock, right? All our time, right? So let's look on to, but then you will say, boss, this is too much pressure. I can't take it. This is breaking me down. Give me an what do you call eno acid solution. Acidity हो रहा है मेरे पास. So what is the acidity solution for failure? 1 Peter 5:7.
Quality of it because it is perfect.
Yeah. So cast all your anxieties to whom? To the doctor, to the Lord. And the Lord will take care of you by giving you first what? Peace of mind. Now, where does this peace come from? From where? Manglesh. It comes from the fruits of the Spirit. What is the first fruit of the Spirit? Or the third? Love, joy, peace, and patience. So, you remember this. Patience and peace and patience are ranked number 3 and number 4. Right? It is listed in a particular order. Have you ever thought about that order? Why peace is not one? Right? So let's look at Philippians chapter 4, verse 6 to 7.
It says about anything, but in every situation, for prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your request to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your heart in Christ Jesus.
Right? So earlier words we were talking, rest all your anxiety on the Lord. Now here there is an activity of how to rest it on the Lord. And what is the activity? By praying to the Lord. Right? And most of the time when you are under stress, the first thing and the last thing that we do is pray. First thing we forget is pray. Right? So, how do you manage stress? Is through prayer. Now, if you are away from the prayer, then you are not managing stress the godly way. Right? So, let's look at, but then still my mind is my mind. I have so many doubts. My pressure, I told you about my head, it's too small, but I have too many building worries. Right? How this will happen, how that will happen. So, let's look at 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 5.
We cannot prevention that sets in or release the body. When we take care of it, when we found the way to obedience to us.
Okay. And Philippians 4:8.
Really, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if any or praise Lord, bring the Lord some sleep.
Yeah. So one of the toughest thing during your stressful time is to think positive, right? So here in this verses, what is that they're talking about? Positivity, right? Flip from negativity to positivity. Think about the moments in your life where you have gone through such situations and you have been successful, and there you will get some peace of mind because this is not the first time you have gone through, or from your family, you can learn, or from others, elders, that many people would have gone through these kind of situations, right? And so that is another way of controlling your thought by getting in different ideas from different people, godly people, not worldly people, right? Then the toughest one is learn to wait. आप कतार में हो, not the real Qatar. Qatar means you are in queue, right? And God has too many files to review. God is saying, I will approve your file. Give me some time, right? So, in such a moments, what do we do in the Qatar or in the queue? Let's look at Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31.
this one, there is outside healing. They will walk in they will walk in everything.
Okay. Psalms 27, verse 14.
Be strong and take heart and wait for him.
Yeah. Wait for the Lord. And while waiting, what you have to do? Just stand there. What you have to do? Just wait, pray. That's all. Be strong. What else? What else you have to do? Think hard. Take heart. What is take heart? Be courageous. What else?
And wait.
And keep looking at different solutions for your problem. If you are just sitting on the problem, nothing is going to happen. You have to come with solutions. And for that solutions, you have to pray to the God. The path to exit, the path to come to the success is what you need to pray to the Lord. Not make me successful, get me out of this. How God will get you out of it if you're sitting on that chair? You have to walk there. You have to take your legs out of the chair and walk. Find the path out. Ask the Lord, what path should I take? What should I do? Is this the right thing I'm thinking? And then sleep over it. And then you will realize that God will talk to you in your dreams. Or when you wake up, like Archimedes got Eureka in the bathtub, you will get ideas which you were never aware of. And believe me, God speaks to you. It is just that you have to be open. And if you are overwhelmed of your problems, nobody is going to do anything. You will be where you are stuck. So be courageous, pray to the Lord. And what will you pray to the Lord? Get me out. No. Show me the path to get me out. What should I do? Should I do option A? Should I do option B? Should I do option C? Or show me the options. And then God will give you ideas. And then it will happen. Either it will be through people, through verses. God can use anything, right? To reach to you. Nowadays, many people reach us through what? WhatsApp. God has app. That is your mind. You wake up in the middle of the night, the answer is in your mind, fully loaded with all answers, with step-by-step execution plan. But then also we are worried. Yes or no? It will happen or not. I don't know. Till you succeed, you will never know. Let's be realistic. That's where God says, trust in the Lord, trust in God's timing, give your burdens to the Lord, follow the path, and you will know. Right? So look at these activities, follow these activities like an SOP, standard operating procedure. And whenever you are in doubt, read that verse and practice that task. This doesn't mean you will get success. This means you will move through the struggle in a logical, godly way. That's all. And God, in His time, will make it happen. Now, what that time is, God and you know it, not me. Now, I also don't know what do I do wait for God answer. God बोल रहा है आप कतार में हैं. Please wait. And remember, as I just shared with you about examples, many hours of struggle, of pain gives you the gain, right? So let's move to the final closing verses, right? The first one is to be successful. Now, I don't want to leave you dry and empty, so I'm going to give you a little bit a flavor of success from the Lord, right? I only you left me in the middle of the dark. Give me some torchlight. So this is the torchlight, right? The first one is Hebrews chapter 10, verse 36.
You need
Persevere.
you need to get so that when you have done the will of God, you will receive what you have promised.
What does persevere mean? enduring, or keep going. Don't give up. God doesn't come to the rescue of people who gives up. That's my statement. God may differ, but I believe strongly that you have to keep the faith and keep fighting. Don't give up. Bible verses say, right? You need to persevere. And then there is this ask, seek, knock. God, array, wait, no, I'm telling, I'm in discussion with so many other people. You are constantly knocking. Array, send that guy in, send that person in, approved. You never know. Keep asking, keep knocking, keep seeking. ASK, ask, seek, knock. Don't stop. You will get it one fine day whenever God is either frustrated of you, lay low, go, enough. And there are many Bible verses where God, after listening to their prayers, in especially in Old Testament, has changed his heart, right? And said, Chelo, I will not give you that harsh punishment. Right? Now let's look at Psalm 34:19.
The righteous man may have many troubles, but
Okay. The righteous person, what does it say? No problems? How many problems? Listed, number of problems are listed? Many. Many means you will have problems, boss. Don't expect you will not have problems. If you are coming to church, praying to God, assuming that you will not have problem, your fundamental logic is wrong. Clear? You will have problems. And I just shared with you an SOP, standard operating procedures, on how to go through the problems and persevere so that you continue on your problems, fighting your problems using godly tools, which are the verses to overcome, and then God will answer you in His time. Right? So today's message is all about how to go through the struggle. Success, many people will tell. How to go through struggle is the problem because this is where most of us go through and nobody talks about it. And so I thought this is a good message to go through, not only for everyone, including me, because I go through struggles every day. You may not understand it, but every person has their own struggles, right? Work struggles, different struggles in different seasons, right? So, with that, I pray that God has spoken to you through this message. May God bless this message. Thank you. Amen.